Hi and welcome back. In this video we are going to make advanced wall running and wall sliding in Unity 2D, so let's get started. First, create a C# script and name it something like wallrun. And open it. First of all, we want to declare some variable: first movement speed of the player, another variable for force of the player's jump, another variable for speed at which the player slides down a wall, another variable for force of the player's wall jump, another variable for time duration during which the player can wall jump, one more variable for layer mask to detect walls. Now we want to declare some private variable. And now we want to make reference to rigid body 2D. Then private variable for collider of the player. But if your player is square, you can use the box collider. Then we need a bool variable to check if the player grounded. Then we want to check if the player wall running. Then we want to check if the player wall sliding. Then we want to check if the player wall sticking. Another bool variable to check if the player has jumped off a wall. Then check time when the player last wall jumped. Direction of the player's wall jump. I know that there are so many variables, but I add comments to every line so that you can understand what each line do. Now we want to get the rigid body and collider components in void start. Then we want to make the horizontal movement in void update in 2 lines. Then we want to make the wall running. Then we want to check if the player is hitting the wall, and if it is true we want to make the is wall running to true and is grounded to false, and if it is false wall hit is not false we want to make is wall running to false. And we want to make wall sliding and limit the speed of player while wall running. Then we want to make the wall jumping and check if the playing has pressed space and check if is grounded is true and wall sliding is not true and is wall running is true and is jumped off wall is false. If these all things are true we want to make the wall sliding is true, and if wall sliding is true we want to check if player is pressing left arrow. We want to add rigid body force to left and make the player move to the left, and we also want to check if player is wall running is true and player is pressing right arrow. We want to add force to rigid body to the right so the player could move right, and if nothing is happening so we want to make the player jump normally. Then we want to check if the player is grounded. Then we want to make wall jump timer, and then we want to check if player is wall running and if time is smaller than last wall jump time and add wall jump time. If these all statements is true we want to make is wall sticking to true, and if these all statement is not true we want to make the is wall sticking to false and last wall jump time to tie time. And then we want to reset wall jump flag, and we want to check if is grounded is true and is wall sticking is true and has jump off wall is not true. And then if these all statement is true we will make the has jumped of wall to false. I know that this script is so big, and also this script also contains movement of the player because it was not working when I removed the feature. Also, this whole script will be in description. In Unity, just put the wall run script into your player. Then add the wall layer mask to the object that you want to be wall like this. Also, if you get error of the player getting stuck in the wall, just switch the box collider 2D to circle collider 2D. As you can see, it fixes the issue. Then hit play. As you can see, it works great. Also, if you want this whole project file you can ask me in comment. That's it for today's.